This is the Sundeep show.
It is generally accepted that the German invasion of Poland in 1939 was the catalyst for the outbreak of World War II. It was a watershed moment in history that triggered a chain of events that culminated in one of the world's worst battles. Let's briefly look at the motivations for Germany's invasion of Poland, the responses given by other countries, and the ensuing effects. We'll start with a little context. Understanding why Germany invaded Poland requires an examination of the historical backdrop that led up to that point. When the Nazi Party and Hitler came to power in Germany in the early 1930s, they were eager to construct a larger German empire and conquer new lands. Hitler intended for the German Reich to encompass all areas inhabited by people of German ancestry, which is where the idea of Greater Germany originated. The notion in question held considerable influence over the geopolitical objectives pursued by Hitler and the Nazi Party throughout the 1930s and 1940s, constituting a fundamental tenet of Nazi ideology. Hitler's assertive external strategy, grounded in the notion of Lebensraum, which means living space, sought to consolidate the German-speaking world and reclaim territories that had been occupied by the Axis after World War I. Germany had already invaded Czechoslovakia and annexed Austria by 1939, both actions being carried out with minimal opposition from other countries. Gaull's doctrine, the concept of Greater Germany, sought to merge all German-speaking populations into a single unified nation. This involved the integration of German-speaking communities into other European nations in addition to the unification of Germany itself. Hitler's goal was to incorporate portions of Austria, Czechoslovakia, and the western areas of Poland into Greater Germany. The taking over of Austria by Germany in 1938 is known as the Anschluss. In the same year, the Munich Agreement led to the integration of the German-speaking Sudetenland into Czechoslovakia. Hitler wanted to reclaim what he saw as German property in Western Poland. We'll now talk about key provocations that made Germany attack Poland. Hitler saw Poland to be a major barrier to his aspirations of expansion. Following the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, which put an end to World War I, an independent Poland was established, encompassing areas with sizable German-speaking populations. Germany saw this as a breach of German ethnic minorities' right to self-determination. In addition, Poland had turned down Germany's request for the repatriation of the Polish-run port city of Danzig, which is primarily inhabited by Germans. As a result of these factors, tensions between Germany and Poland grew. The pact stipulated that Poland would be established and that the frontiers of Europe would be redrawn based on ethnic groups. Following its formal partition among Germany, Austria, and Russia, Poland was proclaimed independent. By establishing a Polish corridor along the Vistula River, the Treaty of Versailles delineated Poland's western boundary and offered access to the Baltic Sea. Poland received Posen and West Russia. Poland was able to use the port of Danzig to access the Baltic Sea. The pact obliged Poland to defend the interests of residents who were different from the bulk of the population in terms of ethnicity, language, or religion, because of the sizable non-Polish minority in regions that Poland claimed. After World War I, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson's 14 points advocated for Polish independence and free and secure access to the sea in Danzig, which is now Gdansk in Poland. This suggested that Danzig, a strategically positioned German deep-water port where the Vistula River empties into the Baltic Sea, ought to be incorporated into Poland. But at the 1919 Paris Peace Conference, it was agreed that Danzig would become a free city, which meant it would not belong to either Germany or Poland. However, Poland would have special rights to the city. Poland viewed this decision as a breach of Point 13, as they felt Danzig had to remain economically independent of Germany. During the interwar era, German nationalists used the term open wound in the East to describe the loss of the free city of Danzig, which had a profound impact on German national pride. These tensions culminated in the Danzig crisis of 1939 and the outbreak of World War II. German armies entered Poland and Danzig on September 1st, 1939, and Germany annexed Danzig as part of Reichsgau of Danzig, West Prussia. This event signified the onset of World War II. Okay, now we're going to look at a very important pact between Germany and the Soviet Union, which kind of made it easier for Germany to invade Poland. A significant determinant in Hitler's determination to invade Poland was the Soviet Union and Germany's signature of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact in August 1939. This non-aggression treaty comprised a secret document that divided Eastern Europe into areas of influence, thereby granting Germany complete control over Poland. Hitler's western flank was protected by the pact, which also guaranteed that the Soviet Union would back down if Germany started to use force in Poland. This pact was signed on August 23, 1939, just a few days before the World War II broke out. The agreement bore the names of the respective foreign ministers of the two nations, Joachim von Ribbentrop of Nazi Germany and Vyacheslav Molotov of the Soviet Union. Although the agreement included a public non-aggression clause, each signatory's zone of influence in Eastern Europe was delineated by means of covert protocols. The formation of this alliance was vital in facilitating Hitler's invasion of Poland without apprehension of Soviet retaliation. Eastern Europe was split into spheres of influence by the secret protocols of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, with the expectation that the Soviet Union would govern the eastern section of Poland, the Baltic states, and portions of Finland and Romania. Hitler was able to move forward with this invasion of Poland thanks to this agreement, since he was no longer concerned about fighting the Soviet Union on two fronts. Poland was effectively partitioned between the two superpowers in September 1939 when Germany invaded on the 1st and the Soviet Union invaded on the 17th. Poland's fate was sealed by this coordinated invasion by the two sides, which resulted in German and Soviet soldiers occupying the country. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact allowed Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union to coordinate, demonstrating the alliance's pragmatic and opportunistic nature, as both Hitler and Stalin sought their strategic objectives at the expense of weaker countries like Poland. As a result of the invasion of Poland, which prompted Britain and France to declare war on Germany, World War II commenced. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact laid the groundwork for later developments such as the wider war in Eastern Europe and the German-Soviet alliance's final disintegration following Hitler's invasion of the Soviet Union in June 1941 under Operation Barbarossa. Germany started a military invasion of Poland on September 1st, 1939. The assault carried out using a new military strategy known as blitzkrieg quickly overpowered the Polish fortifications. Bombings were used on Polish cities, disrupting civilian life. France and the UK, which had promised to protect Poland, went to war with Germany on September 3rd, 1939, in response to the attack. The Allied countries had never before used force against Nazi Germany until the invasion of Poland. Blitzkrieg, which translates as lightning war in German, is a military tactic that employs surprise, speed, and superiority in material or firepower to cause psychological shock and disorder in opponent forces. To encircle and overpower the Polish lines, the German forces used infantry, fast-moving tank formations, and air support. One important aspect of Blitzkrieg was the deployment of panzer tank divisions. The Polish troops who were ill-prepared were swiftly routed by these divisions. The early stages of the Blitzkrieg strategy were marked by heavy bombardment to destroy the enemy's railroads, communication networks, weapons dumps, and air force. A substantial land invasion was initiated subsequent to the preliminary aerial bombardment, encompassing an insurmountable quantity of personnel, tanks, and artillery. The Polish invasion engendered extensive ramifications that extended beyond the immediate and into the distant future. In the first place, it demonstrated the military prowess of Nazi Germany and its readiness to disregard international agreements. It exposed the flaws in the collective security framework that had been put in place after World War I and the League of Nations. The inaction of the international community in the face of Germany's aggression in Poland allowed the Nazi movement to continue its advance and eventually resulted in the start of a world war. In addition, the invasion of Poland had a profound impact on the war's trajectory. It compelled the Allies to reconsider their approach and make defeating Germany their top priority. International mobilization in response to the Nazi menace transformed the war strategy from one of containment and appeasement to one of complete war. Germany's attack of Poland made it possible for them to invade and take over nearby countries like Denmark, Norway, and the Low Countries. A pivotal moment in world history was the German invasion of Poland in 1939. This event served as the catalyst for the outbreak of World War II and exposed the vicious intentions of Hitler and the Nazi Party. Hitler gained more confidence as a result of the international community's inability to adequately counter Germany's aggressiveness, which ultimately caused the collective security system to collapse and the conflict to escalate, prompting the global community to recognize the dire ramifications of unchecked aggression of the critical nature of resolute measures to preserve peace and stability. The invasion of Poland laid the foundation for the subsequent years of atrocities and devastation. That's all we have for today on this episode. Thanks for staying here with me. I'm Sundeep August. I'll see you soon.
This is the Sundeep Show.